morning, Christian and Alexis, and welcome. You are the co-founders of the Institute for Coaching Excellence, and another way we can say IFCE. And you guys are dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations to achieve the full potential and creating positive change in the world. That is something that is very close to my heart, as that's something that I want to do with women, and you guys are doing it with everyone else, which is fantastic. So how did you both come together to form IFCE?
Yeah, Alexis and I, we met in a coach training program. So we both attended the both coach training program, and this was in 2018. And in this coach training program, we became peer coaching partners. So through our peer coaching partners, we grew as coaches together. So we were practicing our coaching techniques and developing our coaching business. And that peer coaching that we had in that training, we grew into friends outside of the training program. And then that turned into us becoming business partners as well. And we launched our business idea, started working on it, developed the name in 2020. So Institute for Coaching Excellence became a formal business, and we became formal business partners in 2020.
So how's the journey been? Because a lot of time working together, especially two people that never really connected prior to that. You mean like in the long term. So how's that been going as like the relationship? Was you guys have any conflict or anything like that that can, draw down the company itself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at first, we just felt like it was a good connection, So between Alexis and I, we had many conversations. It wasn't just something like, oh, let's just do this. And we did it. We had many conversations about like what this would look like. And we were meeting like once a week, Alexis, something like once a week. Yeah. And we just started developing this idea like, okay, yes, we want to do this together. We made a solid decision, had a hard conversation. And then started forming our business, started creating the curriculum, outlines, and all the hard work that went into it. And yes, we have conflicts, just like any other business people. Everything is not peaches and creamy all the time. But I think the best part of that is that we were able to work through conflicts together and come to a place where we're like, okay, yes, this is the things that we need to work on. This is how we move forward. And that has worked out great. And we're here launching our third cohort coming up soon in April. So it's been a great journey so far.
So now, what's the Institute is about and what are the services that it offers itself? Alexis, do you want to take that one for me?
So Institute for Coaching Excellence is a boutique training institute. We offer a 135-hour life leadership and executive coaching certificate, and we also meet the ICF's education coach training requirements for those who want to be either an associate certified coach or a professional certified coach. So it's just Christian and I, but we are enrolling students. We're doing mentorship. So mentorship is included in our program. We also bring things like economic empowerment. We have a fellowship for our students. We know it can be a challenge in some cases to build new clientele. And so we do a cash infusion for students who perform really well on the capstone project. And outside of that, Christian and I also offer coaching to organizations and individuals who are looking to, just move towards their goals. And we also hope to open up more offerings in the future for people who want to do continuing education credits and kind of one-off coach training sessions that are designed for specific organizations who want to do a targeted training for all of their staff.
Wow, this is awesome. So now what happened? Let's say that I decided to take the certification from you. What happened after that? Can I still have the company as my support, or is it that I'm done and I'm out with?
No, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that we are trying to do with our students in our cohort is to create a community. Coaching takes place as part of an ecosystem of other people who are part of the coaching profession. So after our students graduate, we have an alumni channel on Slack. They're able to share their successes, share their events, ask questions, get support. build partnerships and other connections. And then we also have ongoing opportunities for people to continue coaching with Christian and myself. So if they need some business support 6 months down the line, they want to do some rebranding, they want to deepen, add new offerings, Christian and I always make ourselves available to students. And if folks go through our coach training program, we actually offer lower cost and discount coaching for them so that they're encouraged to continue developing themselves and their business.
So really, you guys don't just think about the money for the company. You really, really care about your students, how the success of the students.
Yeah, and Christian, do you want to speak to that? I think you're kind of heading up a lot of the just like student engagement and like the culture of how we're supporting students.
So in business, money is always important, right? You need money to operate a business, but we really want to just empower other coaches, to be leaders in the coaching industry and the coaching profession. Alexis and I, we met in the coach training program and, developed this idea, but the idea came from that we were a part of a coaching group and another coaching community where even students from our coach training program were missing some of the tools and pieces that were needed to go into your coaching business. So we was like, okay, this is where this idea was birthed from, right? Like we wanted to help other coaches be able to not just learn the fundamentals of coaching, because that's important to learn the core competencies, abide by the code of ethics, but also to like help them build their business. How do they get their first client? Building a website, having a contract. So we've learned from other coaches that we've even went to coach training school with that there was this missing piece. And we wanted to help provide that to other coaches and just help coaches be just like leaders without having to worry about like the nitty gritty of like the business pieces, because our program will help them be able to embody that.
So now can it be anywhere in the world? Do I need to be in the US to be part of the program itself?
No, we have international students that are a part of our program today. So we accept U.S. national. We are a national coach training program. We accept students nationally.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the certification itself? When you get that certification, what does it mean to have it, and why is it so important?
Well, and just to clarify too, in the last bit, I'd say most of our students are national students, but we've got students from Canada. We have someone who's joining us from Spain. We've had people reach out from South Korea, Hong Kong even.
Wow.
Most folks are here working in the U.S. context, but we want to accommodate folks all over who are trying. It's really a matter of kind of the time zone piece that's there. But sorry, can you ask your question again?
No, I was saying, what is it so important to have that certification? What is, as a coach, why do I need it?
I mean, more and more we're seeing with research, the International Coaching Federation, they do research every year with their global coaching study, and they're finding that year over year, people who are obtaining coaching services expect their coaches to either have a certificate or have gone through a program and have a master's degree, or to be a credentialed professional. And so a lot of people can say like, I'm a coach or I do this thing, but coaching is its own industry with its research and study and a rich history of people who've been adding to the profession. So becoming certified, becoming credentialed is a way that you can make sure that you're adhering to, globally established standards. They also give us really great guidelines around the ICF, code of ethics. How are we supposed to conduct ourselves to make sure that we're being responsible to our clients, to the industry, to the coaching ecosystem. And so a certification, a credential is just a great way to make sure that you have a strong foundation for your coaching practice and some really important guide rails that guide ethics, values, how you manage your business, and also just making sure that you have an integrity check when you're working with clients. So if something goes wrong or there's an issue, they also know that there's a way that they can receive support so that the coaching industry isn't, creating harm or hurt in the process of supporting people.
So would you say that anyone out there that you don't have a coaching license, or not a license, I mean like a certification, or ever take any courses, it's good that for them to take that step and to create that credibility for themselves?
Yes, I would say yes. It's that credibility that you have that gives some foundation under how you are supporting others. So yes, it is good to have that credibility and just even to have just the fundamentals of what it means to coach someone. So, just even speaking from experience, before I went to coach training school, what I thought was coaching. And then when I went to coach training school was very different. So coaching is not giving advice, right? And so I learned that in my training program, and I learned how to like embody the core competencies, have a coaching mindset, and really know what it means to be present. So the certification also gives you that credibility, but it gives you the fundamentals of what you need to really truly support another human being, come up with their own strategies, their own solutions, and overcome challenges, and give them tools and resources so that they can live that out, in their lives and not just in a coaching session.
But you realize that for whatever reason, a lot of people believe that coaching is giving advice. It's like, hey, good morning, coach. I have an issue. Can you help me fix it? So you realize that's what they think it is, right?
Yes. And, you even get that in some coaching sessions. Like, what do you think I should do? And coaching, going to a coach training program, getting certified, and having those coaching competencies and fundamentals under your belt will help you be able to help your client, the coachee, be able to answer those questions for themselves. So yes, most people do think that coaching is giving advice, but it is not. It is client led, and it is helping clients come up with their own strategies and solutions because they're their own author of their own book, and we're just there to support them.
Absolutely. So now, Christian, you have a passion for teaching life skills to young people. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. So I was thinking about this in a coaching session yesterday, actually, how I had this group called Pretty for Tea, and it was a group that I came up with in 2015. And the idea came from Pretty for Tea, and the Pretty stand has initials, and it stands for pleasant, elegance, terrific, teachable, and yearning. Those were like the acronyms for it. And it was to help young ladies between the ages of 10 to 18 become leaders amongst their friends, in school, in their communities, or any organizations that they were a part of. And at the time, my daughter was about 14, 15 years old. And she had some little cousins that I was always around. And so I started with them and wanted to just be able to show them that there's a lot of influences in the world that they can be influenced by. However, like to become their own, like become leaders within themselves, and not just to let the outside influences be able to guide them, but to have some solid principles and elegance as young ladies to themselves. So I started in 2015 with just like my daughter and my little cousins, and then it grew with like members of my church. Young girls started coming in, and they started inviting their friends, and then my daughter and her cousins became leaders in this group. So it was all about empowering young ladies to be leaders, but in a way that they can have fun and yet still be elegant, and just teach them a little bit of etiquettes on, just how to grow into young ladies. So starting off at 14, my daughter was 18 by the time she kind of stopped going to the program, but bringing in other young ladies and learning how to be the leaders to other young ladies in the program as well. So yes, a passion for the youth. I do have a lot of guidance that I wish I could give to a lot more youth in the community, but just narrowing in on that group, young ladies between the ages of 10 to 18.
And I think it's a great idea because you start with one, like you say, now your daughter is a leader. Now she's passing that message to other young girls, and then the other young girls are going to pass it on and pass it on. The next thing you know, you have a big movement and you pass on from this world, but it's still going on. So that's what you are doing. So
yeah, I like to call it, we think about generational wealth, just about being about money, but I like that, like this is thinking about the generations to come, right? So teaching this generation so that they can teach another generation and another generation. So when I think about generational wealth, it's not just about finances, but it's about mindset as well when I think about generational wealth. So yes, that was ideal. And to be able to, maybe I can step away and then they could be leaders and continue this on.
Yes, and then you'll be passing 100, 200 years from now. It will still be going on. My great mama did that for me. I love it. So now, can you explain your approach to coaching and how it differs from other coaches' method?
Yeah, was that
Christian, do you
Alexis?
want to?
Go ahead, Alexis.
Yeah, I mean, we are aligned with the International Coaching Federation, so we believe, coaching is a thought-provoking process, right, to help people uncover what's most important for them, and we're partnering and supporting coaches or we're partnering with clients to support them in moving forward, trusting that they have everything inside of them, the courage, wisdom, insights, experience to navigate their life. And so we take an ICF approach to our coaching, but I do believe that the environment, the culture of our practice, the emphasis that we have makes us a little bit different. So we have a very, very big focus on equity, inclusion, making sure that because we believe everyone needs a coach and everyone can coach, that our coaches are reflective of the people who need coaching. So you'll see a lot of pictures of people who reflect diverse communities and cultures on our website. We ask people about their accommodation and accessibility needs. We try to also be flexible. There's so much stuff happening right now, from COVID to the Great Resignation to people who are just dealing with a lot of social and political uncertainty. And so we try to be really flexible with our students. We keep our class sizes really small, so we'll never have more than 10 students in a class. But we also want to empower people to be confident. That's a really big thing. We talk about cultivating a coaching mindset, and that's all about hands-on learning. You get, experience with a peer coach every week, just like Christian and myself in our program. And then after you're learning the core competencies, the code of ethics, you also have this really wonderful opportunity to really launch and grow your business in 6 months, which I think is something that's really unique to our program. Yeah, so we have Christian leads this wonderful Let's Make It Happen planning where people set goals over the course of several months and identifying kind of a step-by-step process to actually work towards their business goals. And it's really up to the students themselves to identify what their goals are and what their vision is for their business. So they do their own visioning and planning. We provide templates and resources and tools totally free. They get one-on-one coaching and mentorship for us, both on the business side and the coaching side. And then students are asked to do a capstone project. And this is a 10 to 12-minute presentation where they're launching their business. They're pitching themselves. They're talking about their approach, their work. We're an institute, so we also encourage them to study. If you're looking at anti-racism coaching or trauma-informed coaching or empowerment coaching, what are people talking about? What is the research? What is the latest tools and technology? So students also share research or a body of knowledge or work in those capstone projects, showing that they have demonstrated expertise in their coaching area. And then they put it all together for a presentation, lead students through an activity using skills from class. And then it's recorded. So they're able to put that on their website. And once they're done, they've got pretty much everything they need with their business in a box checklist and the capstone project to fully launch their business, from social media posts to website posts to thinking about their brand and how they're going to reach their target audience. So I would say that's really what makes us different, is just a culture of care. We believe coaching should be affordable and human-centered, and we also want to set people up for success. So the business empowerment, the business development, and mentoring is, I'd say, the focal point and the foundation of our program.
So you guys pretty much will be in a university in the next 5 years, like the next Harvard, just for coaching.
Let's manifest that.
That would be wonderful. Yes, more of that energy.
No, that's for sure. That's because the way you're treating your students, that's what you are doing. Because I never heard of that before. I met other people who's been in coaching program. They never talked that way before, like that full support, that I'm ready to go out there to launch my business in 6 months and then be successful with it. Usually they get in the program and then they got, little things here and there, but they don't really know what to do with them. They kind of like lost puppy in paradise, trying to figure out what next to do to have a business. So your students are out fully equipped. They have everything they need. If they don't success, that's on them. That's not really on you guys.
Yeah, and the full support in the program, the encouragement to, and I shared this a little bit earlier, but this business in the box piece came from what we've seen in coaches leaving coach training programs and not understanding the business aspects that go into becoming a business owner or having a coaching practice. And a lot of times, it's people don't quit their day jobs, right? They work and they build their coaching practice. And a lot of the time, the goals for coaches or new coaches is to have just a full coaching practice, just like a therapist would have their full practice. coaches look to have, and they seek to have their full just coaching practice, whether that's partnered with consultation or another specialty or expertise, or just fully coaching. So we like to just bring that into the program and support them. Alexis does a really good job at like having these spreadsheets and tools and resources that we give to the coaches as well. So like how to budget, for a business, and what does your taxes look like, and financial projections. And we give them tools and resources like actual templates that they can use and take with them and have and use in their own business and practice.
One thing that I like about this is they know what they're putting themselves into, starting a business. So if this is not for you, run now, because you guys are pretty much putting everything in front of them. Like, this is how it's look like in the real world. Do you want this or not?
Yeah, and some people already have businesses. Some people are already consulting, or they've started to coach. And so they're actually going back into their business and doing another reinvestment. How do I build out my coach offering? How do I kind of update my headshots and bio? How do I read another layer of specificity about the services and offerings and things that I'm doing? So 100%, I think that's one of the biggest pieces that we forget in coaching, is that it's not just core competencies and listening actively and cultivating trust and safety. It's also just having the business awareness so that you can set up your business to thrive.
Yes, absolutely. And I wish that every other, coaching program like that, they will think that way. It's not just about the money, but it's about the students too, making sure that they are successful at the end of this. And if they are not, that's when they are not doing the job. It's what they're supposed to be doing. Probably being lazy on the couch. So now, Alexis, as someone who has provided over 1,000 hours of coaching to entrepreneurs and executives and social impact leaders, can you speak to the importance of coaching in personal and professional development?
Yeah, coaching is transformational. I think one of the wonderful things about being a coach is it also has just a profound impact on your life. And so the coaching mindset, this idea that we're empowered, that we have all of the knowledge and information inside of us. So many times we're always seeking validation outside from people or social media or from people in authority. And so I really feel like coaching is so important for professional development because it allows you to really connect with your essential self, the part of you that exists outside of social conditioning, peer pressure, prejudice. Just who are you and how do you connect with that and then operate and move through life from that place? It's empowering. It feels good on. I was just having a call with somebody who talked about try on some freedom. What does it look like for us to just feel ourselves fully in spaces, whether it's work or profession or personal life or any other, project or thing that you're doing? And so for me, it's really around supporting people who are trying to lead, asking big questions, leading organizations, moving work in a time of increasing complexity. And so it also helps people to build the confidence to stand in their truth and to navigate tricky situations from a resourceful state. And so we're not reacting, we're not responding out of fear. We are acknowledging and understanding what's happening, and we're connecting with that essential part of ourselves. And coaching is a great container to support people in being in contact with the essential self and helping to figure out like what values and things are really important so that they can navigate complexity and challenges and difficulties working with people in a way that feels good on, that feels more like freedom.
So now what do you think about the people that like to ask the friends for the coaching session or the parents?
There's some great guidelines around how to be really sensitive of conflicts of interest and honoring, existing relationships with people. But coaching is a wonderful tool that you can use even outside of a formal coaching experience. A lot of times we want to give people advice when people are struggling, and just practicing listening, asking people questions so they can uncover their own truth. It's a great tool that anyone can use, even if you're not necessarily just a peer coach.
Yes, I agree with you on that. But for whatever reason, some people just like to, instead of hiring a professional, they go to the friend instead. And the friend just going to tell you what you want to hear. That's pretty much what you want to hear. Just spell it out for you. So I completely agree with you on that. But one thing, now let's say me, myself, would like to join one of your programs. So how do I do that?
Yeah, so the coach training program?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Alexis and I host information sessions once a week for the most part. And you can join one of our info sessions, and either Alexis or I, or both of us, would be on that session to give you more information and details about the coach training program. There's also a link to our website, the Institute for Coaching Excellence, and there you will be able to start your journey and fill out an interest form, and you will be able to give us more details about you so we can get to know you and why you want to become a coach or why you're interested in the program. And we review that sheet and we reach out to you if you fill out the interest form. And then there's steps behind that, but those are the first two steps: to attend the info session and to complete an interest form.
So it's almost like filling out an application.
Not really. More or less telling us like, why are you interested? If you're interested in the ICF credentials, if you're what timing is fitting for you, why do you want to become a coach? Why you're interested in, like, why now? Why is this interest for you now? So not necessarily an application, but an interest form, letting us know more about you.
Yes, I guess another way to make sure that that's pretty much what you really want, because sometimes people see something, oh, you are doing this, I can do it too. Let me go apply. Let me try this, and in reality, they don't really need it, and then they sign up for it and never really get into it. For me, I look at it even when people pay for something, but when you don't finish it, you waste my time.
Yeah.
So I see where you guys are coming with that. And what about your coaching? So how do someone get your coaching services? Like, let's say they don't want to join any program. They just want one-on-one coaching from you.
I mean, go ahead, Christian.
So we have links to our on our Institute for Coaching Excellence page. We also have our biography or information more about Alexis and I both there. So if they're looking for to learn more about individual coachings with Alexis or I, our links are in that bio to take you to our individual coaching practices.
So now, do they get to pick which coach they want to go with, or is it like you guys coach together in different things during the coaching session itself?
I mean, they can engage us one-on-one and individually. I think there's, and it's one of the core competencies is client coach fit. You know, Christian has her own kind of experience and focus. She's a fantastic empowerment coach. She's a lot of experience in organizational psychology and just thinking about workplace wellness. And I do a lot of work more on the sustainability, nonprofit management side, and a lot of, coaching around folks who are trying to do intentional lifestyle work. So it really also just depends on what they're looking for. We encourage people to check around, visit a couple of different coaches' websites, because it is a really personal experience, and having a good coach that's going to fit makes a difference. So people can, check us out on social media, check out our websites, and see what feels most aligned in deciding, which one of us they'd want to work with. Do
they get like a how do I call that? If a free session or something that just like a 10-15 minutes talk with you guys and kind of get to know you actually have the chance to get to know them. Maybe perhaps you don't want to work with that person, because there's people I don't want to work with. It's like, thank you, but no, yes, thank you, but no, thank you, goodbye. So how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and I'll speak to mine, Alexis, if you want to speak to yours. So yeah, I do a consulting session just to see, just like you said, if we are a good fit for each other, and how we can partner together. So another part of coaching competencies is ethical practice, making sure that you professionally can work with this client. So yes, it's a consultation to see if we're a good fit for each other. And that is a free 30-minute consultation with myself for individual coaching.
And Alexis? I do the same. I just think you can read everything on a website. You can watch people's YouTube. You can be all up in their social media feeds, but sometimes you need to just connect with people and just get a little vibe check. And so, yeah, I offer free discovery sessions. Those are 30 to 45 minutes, just depending on how much spaciousness people have. And it's just a time for people to mostly honestly talk about what they're looking for, what they're needing, help them clarify their goals. And then I also talk about who I am, my approach, how coaching works. And then it's kind of just up to them to figure out, what feels like the next step for you here.
Yes, and create that connection with one another. I think it's important as human, because when COVID hit, I think that some of us forgot that exists. So I'm glad to hear it from you guys.
Yeah, and it's a great way to dependent on like if you even start your coaching relationship, like that coaching relationship starts in that discovery session right there. So it is a great way to where you start to build rapport, right? And even though it's only 30 minutes and you're like, yeah, how do I build rapport here? There's a strong connection. If it's the right fit, the connection is almost kind of like you feel it in your bones.
Yes, especially as women, it's easy for us to feel this type of connections. Like when it's not a connection, you only can see it in the person's face or even in your own face. It's like, yeah, that's not gonna work out for me. Goodbye.
Yeah, and we talk a lot about that. I think there's a lot of like gendered ideas around intuition, but one of the things we talk about is, whether you identify as a woman, a man, or non-binary or gender fluid, trusting yourself and that intuitive pull is such a huge part of finding a great coach. And most people have an internal check of like, are you my people? Are we, does this feel good? So, and I work mostly, I think, with women. I think we have, even research tells us there's more women coaches. Most coaches are women. They're usually actually a little older than Christian and myself and from the boomer generation, but we see all sorts of people accessing and getting great benefits from coaching.
Yeah, and I think that's something we need from personal to professional life. It's just important to have someone that you can, I don't know, things just happen in our lives sometimes. We don't understand why they happen. Or even that we don't understand it, it's because we don't allow ourselves to understand it either. So having a coach is kind of like just someone listening to you, asking you the right questions to able to understand what's going on with you. For me, it's important. So, and what you are doing is different. It's, you care more about your clients and the people. So I think when you put people first, it's magic happen. And I think that's what you are doing.
Yes. I like that. Magic happens.
Magic happen. So what advice would you give to someone who is considering becoming a coach?
Yeah, I can take a first part at this, Alexis. I think for someone wanting to become a coach is doing your research, really looking at what's out there for you. There are a lot of different programs. There are a lot of different ICF accredited programs to choose from, but really taking a look at what is it that you need? Why do you want to become a coach? And what do you need as a coach? Digesting that for yourself, attend info sessions, contact the institutes or the coach training programs to see what is it that they really offer. I know Alexis and I both, when we went through our coach training program, we can share that like we wanted to talk to the instructor or the business owner, and we wanted to know like, what does this really entail, right? Like how many hours, what is my investment? Because you're getting ready to invest into a big piece of you becoming a coach or launching your business. So that investment is it's a big investment, right? It's probably one of the biggest investments you will make. So making sure that the program that you pick is the right fit for you. Info sessions are important to Alexis and I. We almost want you to join, even if you know us. Alexis had clients that she knows that she's working with, but they still join an info session so that they can understand what the program is so that we can give you the details. And then digesting that for yourself, making sure that it's still a good fit and just making sure that it's like, yes, this is what I want to do, not what I have to do type of fit.
I like that. Not what I have to do. Alexis, do you want to add anything to that?
And I would just say also too, like get right with your life, your schedule. It is an investment, as Christian said, in yourself, in your business, in your community. It takes time and resources, and making sure that you have really had an honest conversation with yourself about your capacity, where you are just in your own personal professional journey. Am I ready to take on something right now? Do I have spaciousness for a 3-hour Zoom class with people? Am I ready to invest in my business and grow? And that's a big check too, because sometimes people might join and go, I actually, this isn't my moment. So just encouraging people to make space for an investment in themselves, and so that it can be integrated into your life schedule, your activities, and that folks know that like, hey, I'm doing this thing. It's gonna be taking some of my time and energy and resources, and I'd love your support.
Yeah. I like that. So now, do you guys have any advice for women who likes to become a business owner?
Yes. It takes time. It's a process. And the excitement and the passion can feel like there's a rush, and that's good because there's this burning desire to want to. But just understand that it's a process. It takes time. It's not perfect all at once. It evolves and it develops over time as you grow as a human being, as you go as a professional. Your business will also grow and develop and evolve over time. But also to just making sure that, being a business owner, you're still a woman, you're still a human, and you still have needs. So making sure you're setting boundaries as well around business and personal, that's super important to me, because you can get lost in the sauce with like creating a bit, because it's so exciting, especially when you're like, I'm going to become a business owner for myself. I'm doing this. I'm going to be my own CEO, my own boss. And it's exciting. And that passion can burn very, high. But just remembering that, you are a human being, you still have personal needs as well. So it's a process. Trust the process, work through your process, be consistent, in your business.
Alexis, do you have to add anything to that?
I mean, just want to plus one everything Christian said and just say, like, to follow that passion, to follow that thread. I mean, I know people are like, oh, passion, but there's something in you that's compelling you to start your own business, to create a life on your own terms. So follow that, stay in contact with that. It can be difficult. It can be hard. Things come up, money, all of these things. But I hope people stay connected with that tug, that pull. We call it the call to coach. Some people have a call to entrepreneurship, but to find ways to honor that in a way that keeps you in the resourceful state, and to keep finding ways to orient towards what feels good, what works, what feels like it's aligned with me, so that when you're doing it, the way that you're engaging and starting your business also feels in alignment with how you want to move through life. So follow that passion, follow the thread some way, somehow, and don't be afraid to get creative with how you bring it to life.
Well, I don't have anything to add to that. Thank you both for giving me the time and for sharing everything about your business with me. Also for sharing your energy and your knowledge with me, because I always say to people, every day I learn something new that I didn't know. So I'm a learning in progress. So every time I talk to people, I learn something new, and I love this type of conversation because I keep learning every day. So I appreciate your time and your knowledge as well.
Yeah, thank you for having us as guests on your show. So thank you so much, in your magazine.